Hey guys, this is Justin with Landscaping Entrepreneur. Thought I'd fill you in on a couple of recent events. Right now I'm on my way to meet with a lawyer because there's a cut above lawn care in the state, and we started working in their area and they don't like that. They're actually a cut above landscaping and we're a cut above lawn care. And they're telling us they don't want us to use the name. They want us to say we only work in South County. So we've sent a couple letters back and forth. Basically, we're going to send them one last letter proving we were using the name before them, and say that if they want to bring us to court, then we're going to countersue. So it's basically what I'm dealing with, hoping that it doesn't get bigger than that. Yesterday was interesting. One of our drivers fell asleep while he was driving the truck, and he drove into a tree. So it broke off the mirror, dented the front of one of the trailers, dented the bumper. So we're trying to figure out how to handle that. This particular employee has already been reprimanded because he broke two windows, and our policy on breaking customer property or any equipment is that the first time is a freebie, they get a warning about it. The second time they pay for half the expense, and the last time and future occurrences they pay for the full cost of the damage. This truck, I'm sure if we were to bring it all to a body shop, would cost thousands of dollars to fix, and we're not gonna, it was an accident. Obviously the guy knows he screwed up. We're not trying to, make him broke. So the way we're gonna handle that is he's actually happens to be mechanically inclined. We're going to make him pay for the parts and allow him to fix it himself. We'll just bang out the bumper, replace the mirror, and weld the trailer, and we'll call it a day. So the last thing I'm doing today is after I meet with the lawyer, I'm meeting with the accountant, and we're going over some square footage pricing. Big thing we're trying to accomplish for next year is get all pricing by square footage. We were experimenting with it a little bit this year, and it saves a ton of time, because with technology these days you can go right onto Google Maps, get the square footage of a property, and you can determine a lot of things from there. So we're trying to create packages based on square footage. So we want to get spring cleanups, fall cleanups, lawn mowing, and fertilizing all by square footage. What we did to get this data is basically, for fall cleanups, for example, I ran all the hours that were worked in the field, and then I took the total square footage of all the properties we did last year and divided those together. I got a time per square foot to do the work. So from that, I used our charge rates, and I was able to come up with a price. But the prices aren't really going exactly the way we want, with cleanups. Sometimes there's more leaves, sometimes there's less leaves. Smaller properties might have to have a higher square footage rate than bigger properties because there's more time to drive there. So I've tried different approaches. I've also tried to, rather than having the price for the entire day as a regular hourly rate, that would cover our drive time. What I was experimenting with is breaking down the drive time and applying it to each job. So there'd be a fixed price to drive to each job, and then a price per square footage after that. I thought that might make the prices a little bit more accurate. I tried it with the lawn mowing. It worked pretty well, because realistically, if you go to a small 5,000 square foot property, a good portion of that time, maybe 25% is going to be, or more, is going to be driving to the property, unloading and loading the truck. So when you go to a much larger property, it ends up being a much smaller fraction of the job. If you're staying at a lawn for 2 hours, then that 5, 10, 15 minutes of driving, unloading and loading is a much smaller portion of the job than when you spend 15 minutes at a lawn. So anyhow, just want to fill you guys in on some recent stuff, and keep an eye out for my other videos.